I want to talk to you about my new project. But it's going to be a little tricky because I have to reconfigure the camera. Oh, bam! So this is Function. This is a game that I created to play with my kid, actually. I built this during the pandemic, but it's been sitting on the back burner for a while until I had time to kind of get back to it. And now it is going to be going to Kickstarter soon. And I'm real excited to get it played and have you playing with it. So it's a really simple card-based game. The only things that really come with it are a deck. This is a test deck, obviously, but like it comes with a deck of cards that go with it and one page of instructions. The second page is actually on the back and it's specifically for multiple players. So it's a little modification. So if it's just you and your kid, one page, only the top half of the page actually has instructions that matter. The rest of them are just play tips. Really simple to get into, really basic play. It works like this. The concept's really simple. You got a deck consisting of a series of different cards and basic rules. The idea behind the game is that you've got a room, something like 15 by 15 feet, doesn't have to be exactly anything like that, but some chamber. It can be a room in a hallway, it could be any interconnecting space, provided you've got enough room to move around. You have a robot and a programmer. The robot's a person, the programmer's a person. The robot's gonna be in one part of the room. They're gonna have a goal in a different part of the room. And you might have various things in between them. And your job as the programmer is to draw functions from this deck and build programs that allow your robot player to navigate the space till they get to the goal. Really easy. The programmer could be the kid or the adult or any in between. It's designed for players kind of about 8-year-old and up, and has a series of different intricacies that kind of make it a bit more interesting than just that. If you look at the turn order, begin with 4 cards. In your starting hand, if any of the cards are forced functions, forget my little cut here, this is a test deck. Forced functions are these ones. You go ahead and discard them and grab until you do not have forced functions in the front. Cool, there we go. Then we assemble our program with 2 of our 4 cards. So if I have my robot player over here, and I have the goal over here, and they're facing this way, I might say, oh, I got a whole bunch of walks here. All right, I don't wanna go too far. Several of these walks are further. And I got some randoms here. I think I'm gonna save a random and a far walk. And I'm gonna do a random and a short walk. So that'll send my player, I won't roll the dice live on screen here, but that'll send my player out to about here, my robot out to about here, right? These ones get discarded, or rather, these ones get discarded because I just spent them. And we grab 2 more and repeat. We have a forced function, the 2 functions we already had, and something new, stand, blind 360. Stand up and roll a die and spin that circle that many times with your eyes closed. Open them afterward. Okay, a forced function means that I have to play this in my next program. This helps force some errors for the robot. Because I don't want to go much further in this direction, I am actually going to hold these aside, use my forced function, which says walk 3 more. We're going to assume we're not quite to the edge of the play space yet. If we were, we would hit an error, which is another part of the game. And then we'll execute this one right over here, stand up, roll a die, and spin in a circle that many times with your eyes closed. So that's going to randomize where our little robot is facing. And if your child's your little robot, this is all kinds of fun. They get to pirouette. If they fall over, they get to, oh God, cat! They get to see whether or not they fall over. If you collide with something, like if you hit a wall or if they fall down or anything having to do with not quite being able to execute the function that's provided to them, they error. If they error, you can reset them in any orientation you want to. Excuse me, kitty. And that kind of helps you as the programmer get them into a location that you want in case you don't have any functions that are allowing you to turn them, which there are plenty in the deck, but I haven't drawn one just yet. But you can only have that robot error 2 times. On the 3rd one, they crash and you have to start all over again. So you've got a strategic measurement of this cat and also where you want your robots to error so that you can get them into nice orientations to proceed on to their goal. And that is the basic premise for single player. That is kind of all, hi friend, all it is for getting the single robot to the goal. And you're playing this with a child, so when they get the opportunity to program for you, they can send you into walls, they can cause you to trip, they can cause you to fall, they can do all kinds of fun things. just kind of playing goofy with the adults, or if the adults are playing, you get to try to see if you can get the kid to follow instructions properly, or if they get so scattered or misunderstand their left and their right or anything like that, you have a fun opportunity to not only like reaffirm and correct and demonstrate in real space how these can be done, but also kind of cement these really basic ideas of programming, where functions have to be followed until they're countered, and that there isn't necessarily a default logic to programming thinking unless you put it in there. So some of the things that happen with these functions is you'll get cards that say like stand on one foot, and those cards don't stop occurring, right? It's not stand on one foot till the end of the turn. It's stand on one foot until another function tells you not to stand on one foot. And that is a good opportunity for keeping in mind that you need to end anything you begin. I do not yet have cat rules. Function has a multiplayer mode, well, it's already a multiplayer game, but it has a multiple robot mode that's both cooperative and competitive. So 2 separate modes. And I will get into those at another time when I'm being less afloofed. I hope I get to see you at the Kickstarter.